When it comes to selecting wines, we often think expensive means exquisite. But our next guest says that's not always the case. Affordable elegance is possible if you know what you're looking for.
Yes, and here to uncork her favorite bottles that punch well above their price point is Sommelier Beverly Crandon. Welcome back to the show. Good to see you.
Yay! We're so excited. We love when you're on. You educate us, you teach us things.
And we drink wine.
And we drink wine. All of those things,
Yeah.
most important. Can you start off by telling us, like, just the basics? Why are some wines more expensive than others?
Absolutely. There's a lot that goes into the price point that your wine is being sold for at the store. So, for example, the land, like what region is it from?
Right.
In that particular country, how expensive is it to buy land to plant vineyards? And also the wages, like how much are you paying your staff? Like all of those things go into the bottle. And then something as simple as, what is the grape? Is it a grape that people know here in market? If a grape comes in market and no one knows how to pronounce it, you'll oftentimes see producers bring it into market a little cheaper to encourage you to try it. And then
Did not know that.
bring up the price after.
Right.
Or, you know, how famed is the winemaker that made this? Because that also goes into the price point. You're paying for a piece of art from this particular winemaker. So when people tell me, you know, I'm gonna buy this wine for this price, so it must be good, I always say it doesn't necessarily mean that. There's some great value wines out there that you won't have to break the bank for.
I've already
love
learned
this.
so much.
Yeah,
We haven't
me
started
too.
tasting yet. Okay.
I can leave now.
No. You stay right where we are because we're about to uncork our first wine.
Yes.
We're starting off with a Chardonnay. Why is this one good?
All right, so we're starting off with the Fielding Estate Unoaked Chardonnay, and this one is $16.95.
That's my price point.
I chose to bring it today because there's so much layers and complexity on this wine. It drinks as though it's $10 to $15 more. So one of the other things I like about this, the winemaker, when you taste this, everything is all in balance, and there's some intelligent winemaking happening. Knowing that the market is very familiar with Chardonnay, and Chardonnay oftentimes will see some oak. This doesn't have any oak, but what they have done when the winemaking process is they've allowed the wine to age on its lees for an extended period of time. And what that does is give you weight, the weight that you would get from oak aging. It gives you weight on that, a more creaminess on the palate. So they've produced something, no oak, because oak is expensive. But it gives you that feel on the palate. It's delicious. And a lovely long finish.
Our producer thought it would be funny if I gave tasting notes to embarrassing me.
All right, let's do it.
And I was gonna say it smells like, you know, a newborn baby's head after it has a bath. It doesn't. But everything you just said, because I love unoaked Chardonnays, and you just nailed it, obviously, because you're an expert. But it doesn't have like that sometimes oaky, vanilla, overpowering Chardonnay. Like the fruit comes through. I feel like there's melon, maybe some crisp apple. It's lovely and refreshing.
Your tasting notes are great. Absolutely. And then with that leaves, it does give it a bit of an edge with some almond at the end, a bit of honey at the end as well. So it's a wonderfully made wine.
Okay, so you know what? She gave you some great. I'm just gonna go to the next one. What's the next white wine? And why is this one? Because I just tasted. I'm like, what am I tasting for? What am I looking for?
So we started in Ontario. Now we're going over to Croatia. And so what we have here is the Kočeva Grassina. That's a grape.
Ooh, I like this one.
And this is only $17. And let me tell you why I selected this one. So first of all, the Kočeva winery, they've got a great history in terms of making wine. The site was founded in 1232 by Cistercian monks. And if you know anything about wine, the monks back in the day used to travel like this, I guess, I don't know. But they used to find plots and sites of land that were perfect for winemaking. And so the grapes you're having here came from that. So this particular winery is probably the most notable for making wine in this area and for making Grassina. So to have a Grassina from them at only $17 is a steal.
Like you said, it's like a lesser known varietal. Like this makes me want to have it. It's like very citrusy, like more citrusy.
This one is more fruity than the first one.
It is. You know what you're noticing on that? There's a lot of honey in this one, but also a great like wild herbs at the end. So it's not just one track. You've got your fruit, but you've got your non-fruit as well, which is also showing up quite
Loves it. Loves it.
All right, so we're moving on to the reds. Talk to us about the first one that you've chosen and why it's punching above its weight
class. So we have here a Fitou from Chateau Ségur. They're from the south of France, and this one is $17.95. And I've chosen this because in market, a lot of folks like Southern Rhone wines, right? For that ripe, big fruit on the palate. But here, and those ones start at like $40. But here you can have something that is reminiscent, very big, plush on the palate, but at only $17.95 with a long, long finish and very complex on the palate.
I haven't even tasted it. It smells like a $35.
Can I ask you a question? You were just doing the swirl. Do we need to swirl before we sip?
So swirling does allow the wine to open, oxygenate as well.
Because half the pleasure for me of wine is the nose.
Absolutely.
I love smelling.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
This is
And this
lovely.
one does have a very complex nose.
All right, and what's the price point of the second red? Let's taste
So
that one as well.
the next red that we have, you guys will not believe this, but the Orso Bruno is $10.75.
Now that's what I'm talking about. If you invite me to your house, I'm bringing 2 bottles at $10 each.
So what's neat about this, it's old vine Zinfandel. It's hard to find old vines vinified at such a price point. It's from Italy, and as you can see, they've got a homage on the label to the almost endangered brown beers in central Italy. But what I like about this one, again, is the price point. It doesn't taste like it's under 20.
No.
And it's $10.75. It tastes like a bit above that.
This is
It's
nuts.
lovely.
I can't believe how
Yeah.
complex this is. It's like-
Exactly.
it's got that like berry, but earthy, but leather maybe a little bit.
Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely. It's got, like, she's absolutely right. So
Someone
red and
is
blackberries.
teacher's pet today, boy.
Teacher.
Red and blackberries, but also peppercorn, like dark chocolate, all that stuff is happening on here. So there's a lot happening in this bottle.
This is a
$10.75.
steal.
All right, so the
Steal.
last one we have is sparkling. Now, this is my lane. I'm all about a good sparkling. Why did you
Okay.
choose this one?
So back here in Ontario, now we've got the Cave Spring Blanc de Blanc. It's their sparkling wine. And here's an example of champagne-styled wine without champagne prices. This is only $29.95. And I brought it on here because when people make wine in the same process as champagne, it does mean longer aging. So you're not able to monetize what you've made. And therefore you charge more for it. But under 30, and this just, it drinks like it's like an entry-level champagne at $55.
It sure does.
Yeah.
It's not as, you know how champagne, the older ones often have like that yeasty, fresh baked bread. This has less of that, but I actually like that.
Exactly. It's very much
fresher.
so in balance. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it spent almost 3 years second fermentation on its leaves, but that's what gives you that autolytic character.
Oh my God.
Very well made.
Amazing, delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to end it now.
I know. I looked at Jess. I was like, Jess, we gotta stop drinking now. We gotta go back to the TV part.
Beverly, you just blew our minds. Thank you.
man,
And
thank
we're
you.
just going to start tasting.
Thank you, thank you,
It's just
thank
been
you.
wonderful. Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.